Welcome to Good Morning KU.
I'm Nathan Tamayo.
And I'm Chloe Anderson.
Well, it is our first time hosting today, so hopefully things go out well. But what's going on with you today, Chloe?
Well, it's been quite a week. It's been 8 days since Russia invaded Ukraine, so there's really no easy way to talk about that. I mean, innocent people are dying on both sides, and it's really just a bad situation.
Right, yeah. I think I was reading up somewhere that Switzerland broke over 200 years of neutrality to sanction against Russia recently, so
yeah.
Things have been going pretty crazy on those ends.
Yeah, there have been 1 million people that have fled to surrounding countries, so hopefully they're safe. The Ukrainian people have joined forces with their military to hold off the Russian military, which is 3 times their size. So it's pretty terrifying, but all we can really do is support them. I mean, the entire world is kind of standing with Ukraine right now, and it's been incredible to see so many people unite, but it's a pretty awful situation.
Yeah, no, for sure. But then more local here in KU going on today. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening, huh?
Yeah, are you going to the career fair?
Yeah, I actually am going to the career fair. Speaking about that, today at Stauffer Flint, we have a career fair from 10 to 3, I believe.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of local news outlets and just kind of like news outlets from the Kansas City area. So if you're interested in a career in reporting or journalism, feel free to come on down to Stauffer anytime, like Nathan said, between 10 and 3 today.
Yeah, I also know that we have a LinkedIn photo shoot, head photo shoot station going on. So if you need to get some headshots, feel free to come on down.
Yeah, those are always good to have. If you don't have a good headshot for your LinkedIn profile, it's super important to get one of those.
Right, yeah. One thing that's kind of been crazy around campus has been the weather.
Yeah, it's really nice out today. I mean, it's supposed to be in the 70s all weekend.
Yeah,
that'll be pretty awesome,
so.
But it'll snow on Monday, so.
Yeah, the lifting of our mask mandate's kind of coming at the perfect time then, huh?
Yeah, seriously. Which masks will still be required in classroom settings because we'll close together, but it'll be nice to be able to walk into a library without having a mask on.
Yeah, I know for sure. And that's just in classrooms, right?
Yeah. And then businesses around Lawrence can choose whether or not they want to enforce masks still, but like the Douglas County as a whole, we don't have to wear them anymore.
Right, for sure.
So that's exciting to see. KU sent out an email this morning saying that after spring break, they might just totally like lift the mask mandate.
Oh, wow.
Which would be crazy. I feel like I don't know what anybody looks like anymore.
Right, yeah, it'll be pretty crazy going back.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I wonder what that means for basketball games, because I know today we're playing TCU in a little rematch. Yeah,
we just lost to them on Tuesday, so maybe KU just had an off day.
Right, hopefully we get to come back, get some revenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Spring break's also coming up. Any good plans for that?
Yeah, I'm going to Utah with the KU Rock Climbing Club.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be pretty exciting. But what about you?
Also just heading back home, but I think that's about all the time we have for today.
Oh,
cool. Our hosting section. We'll be right back after this with an interview.
Hey there, new car owner. You might be ready to hit the road, Speed Racer, but there's a few things you should know before getting behind the wheel. Don't worry, Jimmy. Let's start with D for direction. Every driver needs to know his directions when hitting the road. Without them, you may end up in some godforsaken country you never knew existed. O is for observations. When you finally get behind the wheel, you best know who and what are around you. So it's probably a good idea to finally clean that windshield, Jimmy. Lastly, we come to G, gratitude. It's a privilege to own a car in these trying times. So letting your neighbor in on the highway is just one example of how not to be a total ass when you jump on the turnpike. All right, Jimmy, you now know what it takes to be a competent driver. Good luck, you lovable scamp.
Hi, welcome back. Today, I'm joined with Jana Calkins, the Assistant News Director of Fox 4 News. Hi, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. It's really great to be back on campus.
So, Jana, can you tell us a little bit about what your job entails as a Assistant News Director at Fox News?
Sure. Our newsroom has about 100 employees. We're the largest station in Kansas City, the oldest station in Kansas City. We launched on the air in 1949. And really, we just do, 10 and a half hours of local live news every weekday and a little bit more on the weekends. So it's more than 60 hours of news a week, 65, somewhere in that range. So as assistant news director, my job is to make sure that we have quality control across all day parts, to make sure that we're covering the right things, that we have our resources in the right place. And it's also a lot of planning, because bigger events obviously take planning and just a lot of logistics to get everything in place.
Awesome, that's great. So did you know you always wanted to do this, or how did you get to this area?
I really didn't. I came to KU in the early 90s after having been at a junior college in Dallas, originally from Kansas. So when things cleared up so that I could come back to Kansas, it was definitely my first choice. But I thought I wanted to be a magazine reporter, perhaps. And it was during that time living in Dallas when I visited a television station for the first time and got to see all the behind the scenes. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. So when I came back to KU, I was in the news and information track, basically, and got the opportunity to work at WIBW. KUJH was in its infancy and being just created back in the mid-90s, so that wasn't something that we were doing on a consistent basis here yet at KU. But I also got a really fantastic scholarship from a former KU female journalist whose parents started a scholarship at WDAF, which was part scholarship, part paid summer internship. So that was my entree into understanding what producers do. I thought maybe I was going to do the TV reporting thing, but when I understood how producers could write everything and do all the creative pieces that I loved about storytelling, but not have to be on camera, that was a little more my zone. And I've just worked my way up over the years and produced newscast. I've been executive producer for different shifts and supervised our massive expansion of our local news. And it's just exciting every day. I think it's a great fit. Management's not for everybody, but I think it's really exciting to get to nurture new talent and get to see them grow.
Well, that's awesome. We're so glad to have you back in Kansas. So you're here for the career fair today. Can you tell us a little bit about what kids will be getting when they come to your station?
Sure, absolutely. There are probably, at least 20 different employers who are talking to students today until 3 o'clock about their stations, about job opportunities, about internship opportunities, and just kind of being a sounding board for people to get a sense of what it is that they might want to do. I think a lot of times people think about television stations involving anchors and reporters, or maybe meteorologists, the people that you see on television. And it's so much more than that. You've got the newscast directors, the technical staff on the back end who make all of those things happen. You have the producers and the assignment managers who plan all the different coverages that we have. There's just so much, like I said, logistics that go into all of it that any of those spaces might be a space where you go, oh, wow, I didn't know that job even existed. Also, the sales team. Somebody's got to sell the commercials that go in our programming. And we love the sales team because we like to spend their money. We love new gadgets. We love having the opportunity to just expand our reach. And then obviously digital. Our digital growth has been huge. We have a digital team of 12 people now. And we're the #1 website by far in Kansas City. So all of the different things that they do, complement what we're doing on broadcast just to help tell stories in Kansas City, and we love it.
That's great. Is there anything else that you would like to tell students going to the career fair or anyone in the journalism program?
I think just explore it all, soak it in. Part of being in college is learning what you don't want to do as much as what you might want to do. So I think the job fair today will give students a lot of opportunity to just bounce some things off employers and find out what they're looking for in their respective industries to see if you can find a good fit.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll be right back with the news.
Yeah, I always just clap at this part.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about the piccolo part? It's the most complicated one.
It is. listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go. Just clapping now.
No humps.
Nailed it.
I practiced this morning. Mine was just 2 people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how to do the end.
4.
It's just I don't know the head.
That's great. It's hard by yourself.
Welcome back, I'm Grayson.
And I'm Maddie, and this is your Thursday Good Morning KU News Update. The Russian invasion of Ukraine is entering its second week, and the fighting has intensified. The heaviest shelling is currently directed toward the town of Mariupol, and the town of Kherson has already fallen. More than 1 million Ukrainians have fled the country, and the number of casualties has risen dramatically on both sides.
The West continues to apply sanctions towards Russia and Belarus that have included the freezing of banking assets and the banning of athletes from competing in the Paralympic Games. The Director of Energy, Economics, and Security Program in Washington, D.C. says that the sanctions are currently at a 7 or 8 out of 10 on the escalation scale.
Douglas County Commissioners allowed the county-wide mask mandate to expire at midnight last night. The City of Lawrence will still strongly encourage people to wear masks inside buildings, and the local school district will continue to require the current mask rules. Private businesses will now be able to make their own rules.
A serious car accident at Iowa and Bob Billings yesterday afternoon snarled traffic through the afternoon rush hour. A semi-trailer collided with a Ford Fiesta, and the driver of the car was initially trapped inside and eventually taken away by ambulance.
In sports, both the baseball and women's basketball teams lost games yesterday on campus. Missouri State spoiled the baseball home opener with a 12-3 victory. The Bears hit 3 home runs in the top of the first inning and never looked back. KU is now 3-4 overall and will hit the road for a weekend tournament in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
The women's basketball team lost 70-60 to Texas to extend their losing streak to 3 games. Seniors Julia Brose and Anaya Thomas were honored before the game and then each scored 6 points. After the game, Thomas looked back at her time at KU with no regrets.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just learning from each team I played on. You know, new players every time you learn something new. Especially with this team, like how we had like a lot of international people. You learn a lot of stuff from them. But since I've been here, each team has grown to be better. And then like especially this year is just more fun than all of them. We're winning. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I'm just glad to be here, and I get to experience the winning part. So.
The Jayhawks are now 19-8 overall and will close out the regular season on Saturday afternoon at Oklahoma. The Big 12 conference tournaments begin next Thursday for both the men's and women's teams.
And of course, the men's team gets another crack at TCU tonight in Allen Fieldhouse. The Horned Frogs upset the Jayhawks 74-64 on Tuesday night in Fort Worth. KU will be looking to avoid losing 3 games in a row for the first time in a long time. Tip-off is at 7 p.m.
And that will wrap it up for today's show. Don't forget to visit the career fair today in the Stauffer Flint lobby. We'll see you here again next week. Have a great day.